Grand Rising loves. Happy Monday, Moon Day. This is our day for emotion, for flow, to be directed by the Divine Feminine. So happy Divine Feminine Day, Moon Day. Get in your heart today. That's the challenge I give you. Can you spend an entire day in your heart, honoring only your heart? Don't think, don't pause, just honor your heart today. That's my challenge for you on this Moon Day. Anything your heart wants you to do it. No pause, no second guessing. See what happens. What are the biggest changes that are going to happen in your life today if you allow just for this one day to do that? This is a radical realignment. So, anyhow, the sacred geometry that showed up for today is Chakana. Chakana is the symbol of our journey in this human experience. But it is the alignment of all timelines, okay? So what it asked you to do, showing up in the upright, is for you to pause one moment and to imagine all timelines, your past, your future, and this present moment, all as a hologram. And you can actually view it all just like a 360 movie. So if you were to spin and just turn around, you could actually step up or step down into any timeline that you wished. And you can make small alterations that will realign all timelines. How fucking powerful is that? That's why I say today's challenge, get in your heart. Just for today, get in your heart, and what does your heart want you to do? Right? And so if you don't know how to do that, you can pretend you have a nose directly center chest, and it'll bring your awareness directly into that space. So get you out of your head, breathe into the heart, and just feel how you feel, right? So really connect yourself in the now. How does it look? How does it sound? How does it smell? How does it feel? The tactile feel. And then try to go just that one step deeper and go inward. How does it feel? This is some aloes wood, by the way. One of my favorite aromatics. It's really expensive, ancient wood, but it smells amazing. And it's very grounding, and I'm having a hard time grounding today. So, doing that. So, that's my challenge for you today. Get in the heart. No pause, no second guessing. Allow your heart to direct your day and see what happens. And so Chakana is saying, view everything like a hologram. What's the little minute change that you would make that would actually realign all of your blueprint? And I really think getting in your heart and honoring your heart on this one day is a radical realignment. So just feel into that and see how that feels. See if that's a good fit for you. And I'm really willing to bet that, yeah, it will be. I love this line. Is calling your name. The ocean is calling me, girl. Okay. So all my beautiful sisters. So the next card that showed up was Luminous Warrior. I love the artwork in this deck. But this also showed up in the upright. So what that actually talks about is honoring you, your light, that your light is actually so intensely brilliant, it casts no shadow. And even on your healing journey, you have been so uber focused on what is wrong with you that you have missed what is so right in you, what is so light in you. So it asks you today to concentrate on that. I also feel that my challenge, getting in your heart for the day, will also honor this card. Because remember, these two cards are the energy of the day. Can you do this? Can you do this? And the answer is an astounding yes if you get in your heart and honor your heart for today. So I want feedback too. Like, how many of you actually did it, tried it, done it? How many of you actually moved into that today? Because that's how I spend every single day. No lie. And I do not allow my mind, my intellect to direct my path. I am always led by my heart. And it wasn't always that way. I was scared. So I was in hiding. But I could still, because I've never forgotten who I was, feel the agony of that. The agony of that deep self-betrayal. And so I really feel like if you get in your heart today and you honor that you'll start to feel how deeply betraying it is to be any other way. So fulgurite is really not a crystal at all, but it is a storm. It's in the element of storm, which means it stimulates all chakras. And so fulgurite is actually sand, which is quartz, really, if you think about it. It's ground up quartz. So that's why the beach is so powerfully healing and the desert is so powerfully healing, because we are walking on ground up quartz. But fulgurite is what happens to sand when it's struck by lightning. And so this is actually from Iran, I believe, is what she told me. This is fulgurite. This is from the Arizona desert. Not as pretty and rustic as the one from the Persian desert. So the idea of fulgurite is that you can actually whisper intentions through this, and it is delivered directly to the universe to call in supports, the troops. So this is really like our red phone. Isn't that wild? This is our hotline to the universe. So I'm not much of an advocate for the prayer. I rather do the meditation, right? Prayer is putting an intention into the larger part of God from the small part of God. It's a request, right? It's an intention. It's a request. It's delivering your desires. And meditation is listening. And so there are times when we are meant to pray and put in our requests. But really in the human experience, we're supposed to be in surrender. So the listening part is so important, and so many people are doing way too much talking and not enough listening. So I tend not to talk about that part, but I like that it came up because it did tell me like, okay, we should talk about this. Yes, we should. Because here comes the message of intent. What are your true desires and what's your intent? Ooh, I don't know why that shut off. Maybe the battery. That's fun. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold this. Okay, I hope you guys can still see. This is wild. My DG battery died, and literally I just charged it a couple days ago. So anyhow, coming into that, talking about the intention, the request. Prayer is a request, right? So when we pray and we're putting in that request, you have to be, I'm going to take this off of the stand because the battery died. It would be easier if I just hold it. Okay. So putting in the request, you have to be really specific and clear on what your desires are. You can't be willy-nilly about that. And the universe will show you how shaky your requests are by the chaos of what's in your reality. Okay? So if you're saying, I just want love, right? Then the universe will say, wow, that's a pretty broad request, but she really doesn't love herself a whole lot, or he really doesn't love himself a whole lot. So let's give him or her experiences that show him or her that, so that they can increase their ability to love themselves first, so that they know actually what love is. And so that's what I mean by being like willy-nilly. So sending your prayer request, you have to really know yourself. You have to know yourself so deeply to understand what your true desires and needs are. And that's why I talk about like the moon cycles. So today being Moon Day, Monday, that when you follow the cycles, you start to realize that, yes, it is Maya. It's illusion. The sky is illusion. Humans never walk the surface of the moon. Come on, people, okay? But it does have its purpose. Just like natal charts have their purpose. That is anchoring your blueprint as above, so below. And if you follow the clues and the planetary alignments and the transits that are key for your blueprint, it really is one of the most powerful life hacks. So that's why I wanted to also start talking about the planetary rulings for each day. So Moon Day, today, Monday being a moon day, if you look at the full moon cycle from its fullest point into the waning cycle, that's all about release and healing. So the universe gifts us 2 weeks of letting go, healing, shed anything that is no longer serving you. Let all that shit go. And then you have one night, which just passed, that new moon night, which was Saturday, the 13th. You have one night that is the most powerful for manifesting your desires and needs. And this is one of the greatest examples of how the universe knows how fucked up we are. We need 2 weeks to get back to our authentic selves. 2 weeks to release anything that is no longer serving you. 2 weeks to let go of all the impediments of the ego and the insidious programming that creates wedges against the deep love that you are in your truest self. And after you do that, there's really not a whole lot that you desire or need. So one night truly is sufficient. And so I love that. If you look at just that one thing, you start to realize like, yeah, I need to get my shit together. Because if your list, right, is really long, what really is missing? What's the void that you're trying to fill? What's the real void that you're trying to fill? And so Chakana, the culmination of today's spread, that it's time to cross the threshold. I love this because Chakana talks about there's something that you've got to set down that you cannot take on the rest of your journey because it's dead weight. This is like, I'm actually going to burn this bridge and not look back. That you have reached a point of completion to the point where you should not even be referring back to this specific event, this specific behavior, this specific pattern, and it's going to be unique to everyone. But let it go. Let that shit go. And when you do that, your prayer becomes really clear. Yes, we are. So Lisa says we have to remember that we are healing lifetimes. So have grace for yourself. That's true. I love you. I love you too, Lisa. So get in your hearts. That's my challenge for today. Can you do it? Can you let your heart lead you today? Only your heart. No second guessing, no pause. Whatever your heart tells you to do today, do it. What does your heart want you to eat today? What does your heart want you to say today? So like that whole thing that you were taught, think before you speak or think before you do. No, fuck that. Today, feel before you speak. Feel before you act. I want feedback, okay? I love you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. And I am sorry for any misalignment that I myself have created. Please forgive me. Thank you for this opportunity. I love you.